Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we are finally talking about Thor Ragnarok and the lead up to Thor Love and Thunder. This is the first Taika Waititi Thor movie, and we've been looking forward to talking about this one. Uh,
We've been waiting forward.
yeah, I got lost for a bit.
It's alright.
With me, as always, is John, and yeah, um, what were your expectations going into this?
Uh, to be honest, I was just trying to look for because I was dating at the time. I had a girlfriend, and I was just like, I just need a movie to watch. And since Thor didn't really have the best track record, in my opinion, I know some people who do love the first movie and some questionably like the second movie. Uh, Thor to me didn't really have much of a you know, a pull. Like I was just trying to find something for me and my girlfriend to watch at the time,
Mhm.
and as I was like looking through the trailers, I was like, "This looks different. It
Yeah,
looks fun." It was, and the reason why I chose this movie instead of like any other movie back in 2017, 18, 17,
yeah,
um,
17.
yeah, was that like it felt more like Guardians of the Galaxy, but with Thor theme like Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, is James Gunn touching this one? It was like, no, it's Taika Waititi. And to be honest, I never heard of Taika Waititi. All I knew was that he was in Green Lantern back in the day, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so this is my yes, I know a lot of you peers probably know Taika Waititi for something else, but this is my first movie of him, or the first movie he directed.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I knew he did a movie with Sam Neill and did a vampire movie, but that's about it.
Wait,
So,
what? Which movie did he do with Sam Neill?
Hunt for the Wilder People? Wilder People?
Oh, you mean the kid from Deadpool?
Yeah,
I gotta watch that. I never knew he did that.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Call of the Wild, I think it was called or something.
okay, okay. But yeah, like you said, the trailers look more vibrant, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
there's a new synergy to this. And then, again, my family was just looking for something to watch. Like, hey, the new Thor movie's out. Like, it's not the best track record again, but it's still a Marvel movie, so let's check it out. And then we went out like, holy shit, that was great.
Hmm.
That's the first reason we said holy shit. The second reason was because of the end credit scene, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So we really start, and you can tell that Thor is more humorous because he's talking to the audience, and he's not,
Well, audience, he's talking to pretty much a dead person in the same cage as he was.
yeah, telling how he got here and what's happening, and we find out that he's being held by Surtur, who's this old uh, villain of Thor in the comics, and he's been a villain since like the '60s.
Hmm. And he is the destined thing to cause Ragnarok.
Yeah, and he tells Thor
Roll
like,
credits.
yeah, Odin's not even on Asgard; he's somewhere else, and he's like, the last time I checked, he was there.
What do you mean?
No, because Surtur's like, Odin's not even on Asgard, and Thor's like, huh? And who?
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you
Son
mean?
of a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Thor did a little bit of a exposition dump on us. Like he has been out and about after Age of Ultron.
mm,
He's kind of doing his own thing. He's not really taking the seat of the King of Asgard as Loki has taken it. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
yeah,
It's cool. Like he is somewhat of a nomad now since he doesn't want to be king.
yeah,
And I say that's really great character development, and especially I was like, some people were like, "Oh, Thor Ragnarok's too funny and it's too lighthearted." And I was like, I say it's a good change of pace,
yeah,
because with like Thor: The Dark World, it was that like emo, depressed middle child, while this one's the fun younger
yeah,
younger sibling. Like
yeah,
this one's like you want to hang out with. This is the
yeah.
one where you kind of want to stay and will watch again.
Uh, and the actor's pretty good. Like, and he's taking out Surtur's minions. Like, there's somewhat of an improvement. There's a lot of an improvement here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of character now to the worlds
Yeah,
instead of just this world is brown, this world is red, this world is white
yeah.
and blue. it's not like that anymore. There is a little bit more character to it.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's still kind of like a desolate desert planet
Oh,
area.
uh, but it's more vibrant. The colors really stick out. And
Yeah, especially the enemies, like that dragon with like afterburners. I was like,
yeah,
that's new.
I like him how the camera follows the hammer and he defeats Surtur ultimately, and then he tries to go back to Asgard, but Heimdall's no longer there, and we find out who's in charge. It's uh, Billy Butcher, Carl Urban, Scourge as they call
Sorry,
him.
I'm sorry, but like, I was just watching The Boys yesterday because I really wanted to catch up because my friends are telling me catch up to The Boys. I can never see Carl Urban with a British accent the same ever again.
Right?
all I keep waiting for is him to say the C word.
Fucking soups. But yeah, he shows these ladies like, here's my the treasures I've collected throughout the 9 realms, and
Behold, my stuff.
yeah,
I was like, okay.
and I've got M16s, but he doesn't know what they're called, from the space and Midgard called tech saws.
I like it how he was like, he kind of made it sound Nordic.
Yeah, they're Des and Troy, Destroy, and that's
Yeah.
the thing in the comics. You're like, why does this character have M16s in Asgard? All right.
Is he a character in the comics?
Yeah, he always has M16s, and you're like, but why?
Oh, that's great.
I mean,
Hopefully he stays.
yeah. But he hears Thor's the alert, and he summons the Bifrost to get Thor. But unfortunately, it also gets the Afterburner Dragon's head, and the ladies
Yeah.
panic. They're like, "We're not staying here anymore. No, thank you."
Yeah. And you gotta love how this is the movie. Like, Jurassic World couldn't do what this movie did. Where they put Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum in one movie and made it work.
Yeah. Like the first time I saw this, I was like, "Is that fucking Sam Neill?"
You're right? I was like, that's Matt Damon. And I was like, they're getting A-list actors to be jokey joke,
Yeah.
like side characters. I was like, what?
It took a while for me to recognize Matt Damon too. I was like, just watching, like, all right, hold a moment, what the fuck?
Chop the mate. But like, I kind of wish they kind of kept Sam Neill and Matt Damon as like a serious characters
Same
in
here.
Marvel. Who knows?
Maybe Taika just brought him along because he's like, hey, Sam Neill, you were in my other movie, and Matt Damon because he's Matt Damon. Why not?
Yeah, no, Sam Neill's like, I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park.
Uh,
Sorry, Taika was like that too, Sam Neill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then he confronts Odin and Loki. Well, Odin, who's actually Loki, and Loki's not willing to undisguise himself. So he's like, all right, you want to play that way? He just throws the hammer and does an Omni-Man to Mark. He's like, you know, nothing will stop the hammer from coming to me, including your face, right?
Okay, I yield. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. And then he's like, where's Odin? And Loki's like, he's on Earth. I remember where I placed it. And it cuts to like a broken down care facility. He's like, did you leave him on the sidewalk or in the broken down building?
And I was like, and this is where we get like that after credit scene from, I'm saying Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Doctor Strange. But before
Yeah,
that,
the first Doctor Strange.
a lady says, hey, I'm sorry to hear Jane dumped you. Like, oh, so that's how they're going to handle that situation.
Yeah, this is the point where we saw this man who is supposed to be a god have the worst case of down bad in Nordic history. I'm like, wow.
But yeah, they meet Doctor Strange. Well, Doctor Strange makes Loki fall for 30 minutes while he's talking to Thor. He's like,
Yeah.
I keep a list, a watch for dangerous beings who are a threat to this planet and this dimension, and your brother is one of them.
Well, yeah, he just attacked New York a few
Yeah.
years ago, so.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
I get it. And I gotta love how Loki was like, yeah, he is the god of mischief. He is somewhat of a wizard. And he was like, oh, you second rate. They're like, all right, that's enough. And Doctor Strange just dispatches them just like that. I was like, all right.
I fucking love it. I've been flying for 30 minutes!
Yeah.
And just the look on his face, like, what the fuck am I dealing with. Uh,
Yeah.
but then they find Odin, and like I do believe too that this movie, for the most part, strikes a balance between comedy and drama fairly well for most of the time. Like this scene with
Uh,
Odin is like, all right,
no, I would say that this movie knows how to separate comedy from drama. Like
yeah,
this movie is probably 70 or 80% comedy and probably 20 to 30% drama. When
yeah,
it came to the drama, they left the drama alone.
yeah,
When it came to the comedy, they kept it comedy. They
yeah,
never squeezed in a joke in like a very touching moment,
yeah,
which
yeah,
was what like Taika's really good at. Same with Jojo Rabbit. There were a lot of funny moments there, but when drama kicked in, no joke or haha moment came in to ruin it.
yeah, yeah.
Like a lot of Marvel movies have been doing as of recent. Black Widow. Sorry.
Well, that's the same reason why I didn't like Guardians 2 all that much because I thought the comedy overplayed the drama too much or way too much. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like the scene where Odin calmly talks to his son. He has no bitterness against Loki, and it's like it's my time to go. Though it is weird that he's like, oh, by the way, nothing's gonna stop her, and then you're like, who's her?
Yeah, you gotta love how Odin was like, it is my time. By the way, you guys have one scary fucking sister. Peace. And just dips. I'm like, okay. You could have told us this a long ago.
Yeah,
Or sent us a letter.
that's only my
What?
one of my only complaints about it. One of the few complaints I have about this movie. Like, wow, that's convenient. Thanks, Odin.
Yeah.
Uh, and I wish I didn't see any trailers because if I just went into this raw and found out that Kate Blanchett was Hela, I've been more surprised. Like, holy shit, they got Kate Blanchett.
She had. She
Yeah.
had in this movie. I'm like, I mean, she's always hot, but I was like, wow.
Though I do like the fact that before she appears and then Odin dies, Thor and Loki just give each other the look like, this is your fault. And they're about to
Right,
fight.
right. They were about to go down, and then
Yeah.
like shit was about to go down, and they got interrupted. Like you thought the storm was from Thor,
Yeah.
it was actually coming from Hela. I was like, oh shit! And this is where we see like Thor kind of underestimated everybody. He was like, yeah, sure, Neil, yeah, whatever. Tosses the hammer at her, catches it, and breaks it.
Yeah.
And now that does give us a good explanation to why Jane has it. It is in Norway.
Yeah.
So we thought that the hammer broke like somewhere in space, and how did Jane get the thing and became Mighty Thor? Nah, it broke in Norway. Forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. The only question is like, how is she working? That's what all Love and Thunder has to answer now. But yeah, they break the hammer and Loki's like, help! And he summons the Bifrost. But Hela follows them to Asgard and she knocks Loki and Thor into Sakaar and gets into Asgard. And unfortunately, the Warriors 3, they were never developed in the first place, but they don't make it out of here alive. All
Zachary Levi had one line in it was "oh," and then that was it.
yeah.
like he immediately gets stabbed, and then gets like double tapped right after. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess their contract were done. So
And he's had Shazam soon after, so it's like, okay.
yeah, but I don't know what happens to Fat Punisher.
Yeah, yeah. And then Scourge is like, I'm just a janitor. And then
Yeah,
Hal's like, I have some work to do. And then meanwhile, you see Thor land on this planet, Sakaar, which is very different from the comics because in the comics, Sakaar is very Mad Max-esque. And here it's more future-esque. You're like, alright.
no, I would say very 80s tech.
Yeah, 80s, like, techie. You're like,
Yeah, like how the 80s thought the future was gonna be.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very synthwave, kind of style.
And then he's rescued, oh, well, not really rescued, but he's captured by Valkyrie, who's played by Tessa Thompson. I swear, I think everybody in Marvel watched Creed and decided, like, we need to get the cast in our movie.
Yeah, we need all of this.
Yeah. Stallone, Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Drago was in, what's it called?
Oh, Shang-Chi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
back there. I'm like, I can't remember. Iron Fist. Nope, that's Netflix.
yeah. That's racist.
But yeah, I'm like, wait, he's not even Asian. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, and then she captures him because she zaps, throws something at him, and it's like a taser. And you know, Thor's biggest weakness is tasers, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. For the God of Thunder, he doesn't do well to electricity.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, really?
And then
Why?
we go back to Asgard, and Hela's like, I am Hela, goddess of death. Well, she's actually the goddess of pointy things, but I am here to continue our legacy. And you've been told a lie. That's not Asgard's real legacy. Its real legacy is bait and blood. Then the the last remaining warrior is like, whoever you are, go back to where you came from. And she's like, whoever I am. Were you not listening to what I said? What? All right.
And this is where we see was like, if this lady was still alive when Thanos came around, I think the war would have ended in Infinity War. Like seriously, if like I saw that meme where if Sorcerer Supreme, which is God, what was her name? Bald one.
Huh? Ancient one.
Yeah, the ancient one. And Hela were in the war of Infinity War. Thanos would have been dead immediately.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she's the sub goddess of pointy things because she just throws knives left and right and center. Even knocks out the ships that are trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Volstagg is still alive, even though he was just Spartan kicked. Like, all right, I guess that's not enough to kill him, obviously.
Yeah, he's a god.
Yeah, and he's like, go back to where you came from, you witch. And then she throws this massive spike through him, like, and he's dead.
Yeah, he pretty much gets chronicled.
Yeah,
like,
oh god. Thankfully, Lady Sif isn't there, so there's still potential for her to come back.
Yeah, there. I'm. This is what I'm saying. Is like since I was wrong with our trailer reactions where this might be. I was like doubting that this is Thor's last movie.
Mm.
It might be Thor's last movie, and all I'm saying is that since Natalie Portman is gonna be the new Thor, they're of course gonna take out Thor, and I think he's gonna be with Lady Sif.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go back to Sakaar and we get the introduction to the Grand Master. And if you listen closely, you hear it's the pure imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I love this scene so much. Like, as he's getting closer, it's like you're about to meet the Grand Emperor in 5 seconds, and then he's just
And I love that they got Jeff Goldblum to be Jeff Goldblum in this one.
Yeah, minus the ums. Like, I barely heard him say
Yeah,
So,
right.
good for you, Jeff Goldblum, for taking that mannerism out. Because people made fun of you for it.
Yeah.
Even though he's a good actor, I don't get you. What's up with you, Doug from Nostalgia Critic?
Yeah, I guess he's not the biggest fan of them ums. But yeah, I some people don't like him. I don't know why. Because it's like I like the Grandmaster just because it's played by Jeff Goldblum.
I like him because of Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park Lost World.
Yeah, same here. And Thor also discovers like, hey, Loki is still here. Please help me. And he's like, I can't. I have favor with him, but I can't do everything I need to do.
Yeah. And I do love how they set up this world. It's such a great and organic way.
Yeah.
Like, we're used to Thor being somewhat serious. Sure, the first one was kind of campy, but at the same time, a little bit serious. And so was the second one. And then now here, they start to squeeze in jokes at the right time. Taika Waititi is amazing at that.
Yeah.
And also, I'll give credit to the writers as well for writing those jokes. Who knows, Taika Waititi might have been the writer as well. But I love that scene where they're like executing this one guy and they give him like evaporation stick, and Thor's like, "Oh my god!"
And then he's set to fight the Grandmaster's champion. And then we head back to Asgard for a bit, and Hela shows Scourge, or the Executioner, like, hey, the history you see on the ceiling isn't the true history. Odin was never always peace loving, wanting to bring balance to the nine realms. Nope. How do you make an empire? Empires are usually the foundation, at least, is blood and guts and a lot of dead people, and breaks that ceiling, and you see the real history. Like, oh my.
And we find out she has a dog.
Yeah. And then through the eternal flame, she awakens the past warriors, including the wolf, the doggy.
Yeah, but I do like it that she does kinda hint at the fact that like the Tesseract is an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know it yet, but it was, and
The
she
gauntlet
goes through
fake,
like
though.
yeah, the gauntlet. It was like right there. It was already complete, and she was like fake. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was like, how is Thanos gonna get it from Asgard though?
Yeah, and it already has the stones. I thought we were at the road to getting all the stones.
Yeah.
And yeah, she goes through like you could see how powerful she is when she starts to discard like all of the powerful relics. Powerful.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, okay. And yeah, she does awaken the army underneath the vault.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get to see like, oh, Doggo back from the dead. I guess that creature gets its skin back, but the rest of the army don't.
I guess. And then Thor is set to is waiting in Gladiator camp, I guess, or Gladiator prison, and then he meets Korg, who's played by Taika Waititi. And like, hey man, I'm just a pile of rocks. No need to be threatened.
Yeah, and I don't know. When Taika Waititi's in something, it's always great. It's either Hitler or Korg. The man's amazing at it.
Yeah.
Like chef's kiss to everything.
Yeah. And that's why and that's why I'm happy he's in Lightyear too. So it's like, all right, I can't wait to see that when that happens.
Yeah, you gotta love the dialogue between them. Like, Korg is very like not brutally honest, but like is kind of naively honest. How would I say?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like he was supposed to start a rebellion in his own world, but he didn't like print enough pamphlets that like only his mom and her boyfriend came, and he doesn't like her boyfriend,
Yeah.
and that's how they failed. I was like, what?
And then we cut back to Asgard for a bit because you see that the Bifrost sword is gone. Someone stole it. You're like, I wonder who could that be.
Yeah, we did get a scene of like Heimdall like climbing up the rocks.
Yeah. And then Thor has a well, no. Thor first tries to connect with Heimdall. It's like, let me see what's happening. Heimdall shows him like things are not going well in Asgard. We're barely getting by. Hela and the Executioner are just wiping any dissenters out. And then Loki comes to his cell, and I forgot the exact words, but Thor is obviously pissed. He's like, this is your fault. Dad's dead. And was exiled because of you, and the 9 rounds are in chaos because of you.
And you know, of course, Loki tried to bargain. Hey, if I get in good terms with the Grand Emperor, is that what he's called?
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster. Sorry, I keep fucking up his name. There could be a time where there could be an incident, and we could just book it.
Yeah.
And Thor wasn't having it, and we get that scene that like really stuck to me, and I could never, ever forget. Is piss off Ghost. I was like, that came out of nowhere, but it made my day.
Yeah. Because Loki eventually gives up because he's like, you know what? I hear the Grandmaster's champion is very savage. Place a large bet against you. Don't disappoint me. Thor's just like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we get piss off Ghost. I was like, you gotta love that Kiwi accent.
Yeah. And then it's in the dungeons, well, not the dungeons, but like the entrance to the arena where they're getting the weapons that Thor notices, hey, Valkyrie is a Valkyrie. Like, what are you doing here? I was like, I'm done with Asgard. I want nothing to do with it.
Aren't you supposed to be loyal to the throne? Like, why aren't you there right now? And like Thor kind of failed to like realize, right, the Valkyries were wiped out.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit insensitive to ask her, hey, why don't you stay loyal to the throne? I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
And we do get a good scene, a good cameo from Stanley.
Please, cut my
Him,
hair.
please sir, don't touch my hair. Please don't cut my hair.
And we cut to the arena, and Thor has a sick new look. He even has his classic helmet. He has his, I don't know what the first weapon is, but he has two swords at his back and a shield.
Yeah, he kind of has a weird mace, but like
Yeah.
it didn't last. A
Uh,
lot of his weapons didn't last,
and who's
especially the hammer.
Oh yeah. And who's the Grandmaster's champion? None other than the Hulk.
Yeah, this is the part where I kind of wish I didn't watch the trailers, because if y'all don't know, but since now it's my job, I don't like watching trailers when it comes to like a movie I like.
Mm.
So, and you know, I kind of got spoiled there that Hulk was actually there, and I was like, ah. Even though all of the nerds were like, oh, in Sakar, Thor is actually there, and if you read like Thor, sorry, Hulk was actually there,
Yeah, yeah.
and like what was it called again? Planet Hulk. It's supposed to represent that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Still, kind of wish I didn't see it.
Mm. And Thor's like, yes, he's a friend from work, and Loki's like, I have to get off this planet.
Yeah, and they do get a really cool fight scene where Thor's like trying to reason with him, and like
I die with the sun's going down.
yeah, where he gets a really good hit on him, and they finally calm down a little bit. And it's like, hey, big guy, sun's getting real. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. I swear, when I was watching it in the theaters, the whole theater erupted with laughter when they started hearing Thor trying to do like Natalia's thing. Natasha's.
Yeah.
Natalia, my bad.
And then Hulk puts a Loki on Thor and just slams him on the ground. And Loki's like, yes, that's how it felt. And the Grandmaster.
No, what's even better was that before that happened, Thor had like this dumbass smile on him before he got grabbed and started getting smashed around.
Yeah.
This movie was so good.
Eventually, Thor's like, you fuck it. Banner, I'm gonna reach into you anyway. I'm gonna get you out of the Hulk, no matter what it takes. And he does actually start to fight him, but Hulk does get a number on him because at one point he gets Thor in the ground. He starts ground pounding him. Like, that's not pretty sight.
There's a lot of innuendos here that you don't take out of context, but like, we gotta phrase these fight scenes a little bit better.
I know. But yeah, he's just killing him essentially, and Thor sees Odin and he blasts Hulk with a massive lightning striker. Like, I thought he needed that outright.
No, he doesn't need the hammer. He is the god of thunder. But the hammer gives...
I mean, at the time, I was like, but the hammer, okay.
No. The hammer gives anybody who is worthy the power of Thor.
Hmm.
Thor has the power as standard.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
And he's about to beat the Hulk, and Grandmaster's like, I can't have that, and he zaps Thor, and Hulk does this like flying fist maneuver, and people are like, oh, for fuck's sake, here's another victim.
And I love how like Corey's like, another day, another Doug.
And Valkyrie doesn't even watch. She's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, because like, yeah, come on. Like, of course, the Grandmaster doesn't want like his grand champion to lose. So I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. And then he knocks out Thor, and he wakes up in his hotel suite. Yeah.
With butt ass naked Hulk.
Yeah. And like, how did you arrive here? And he points at the Quinjet. And he tries to convince Hulk, like, come on, we have to get back to Earth. And he's like, no, Earth hates Hulk. You just like Banner. Like, no, Banner's weak and stupid. I like Hulk more.
But I do like that, like, yeah, you are do you what they call you, the stupid Avenger. Nobody likes you on Earth. And Hulk kind of has this, like, 10-year-old tantrum moment where he's just like, and just, like, sits down. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like Hulk more than Smart Hulk.
Yeah, I also just like the look more than Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, because when we see a Smart Hulk, you're like, yeah, that's totally more Ruffalo than Hulk.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And I don't know. I kind of like the savagery of
Hulk.
just regular Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then Thor's like, we want the same thing and we're the same people. And Hulk's like, yes. You were like water and I'm like fire. And Thor's like, I like fire too. Like,
No,
yes.
we're kind of both like fire. It's like, yeah, but I'm like raging fire, and you're like smoldering fire. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, a lot of good scenes, a lot of good jokes. Of course, we're not gonna hit all of them, but like,
Yeah.
you gotta give this movie credit. Like, it didn't kill the movie that it was too funny.
Yeah, yeah. Again, there are also moments where like, now it's kind of deep. Alright.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and a lot of those were Thor and Loki movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, Thor kind of was like, "Hey, I got a plan." And the Hulk was like, "Okay." And the plan was to get to get the Valkyrie to work with him and try to get their way out of here. And we do get another funny scene with the ball in the window.
That's what heroes do.
Yeah. And we get back to the Quinjet, and I was like, this was also a really funny scene where Thor was just trying to figure out the passcode. It was like voice activation. It was like Thor. And it was like Thor, Odin's son, Thor's strongest Avenger.
He says strongest Avenger, so it's like strongest Avenger denied, strongest Avenger denied.
Denied. I was like, God damn you, Stark. Point break.
And yeah, we see that Hulk in this moment is really a dunce because he's like, friends stay, don't go. And then Thor's tapping all the buttons and he activates the one for with the recording of Natasha.
Yeah.
And again, the scene is pretty heartfelt too because you see the struggle between Banner and Hulk. You're like, oh, poor thing, he's almost like an animal when he's transforming back into Banner. He's like, no, Banner, no.
Yeah. That was a little bit freaky because like Hulk would like scream and he would like change back into Banner and go back to Hulk. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was cool. I don't know what's up with like Mark Ruffalo Banner. Banner Hulk. Sorry, damn it, Banner. Just having a full-on mental breakdown. He's like, why am I in Tony's clothes?
Why did it happen so tight? And the whole time, Thor's like, sun's getting real low.
Yeah. He kept doing the sun's getting real low thing, and you gotta love how he was like, oh, I need a disguise, and he puts like a
Hood.
towel over him.
Yeah.
And Banner goes, yeah, I need one too. I was like, no, you're already Banner. I was like, no, but like, I'll pretend as Tony. I was like, why Tony? Because you put me in his clothes. Well, you were naked. Good point.
At the meantime, Grandmaster's upset that his champion's gone and Thor's gone, and he sends Loki and Valkyrie after them, and they get into a fight where Loki accesses her memory of what happened because he notices like, oh, you're Valkyrie. I thought they were all gruesomely murdered. Didn't know one of them survived. All right.
Yeah, and of course, Loki pushing all the right buttons, and pisses off Tessa Thompson, and just like next thing we see him, he's pretty much chained up. So
Yeah.
we know who won that fight.
Yeah, but it is a sweet scene seeing the flashback of Hela decimating the Valkyries.
Yeah, that was a Renaissance painting right there.
Yeah, yeah. And then I do like Thor keeps saying the sun's getting real low to the point he's like, would you stop that, please?
Like you saying that is freaking me more out. Like, but yeah, and they're like, okay, we just gotta avoid you from having stress and avoid you thinking about the Hulk. And the next scene is just a whole festival trying to like, just the whole festival dedicated to the Hulk. I was like, well, they ain't gonna help.
And then Banner almost gets into a fight with this lizard thing, and he's saved by Tessa Valkyrie, and they're brought back to her place, and she's like, look, I've run away. I've been running away from this fight long enough. I want to do something. I can't just stand by and watch, and so I'll join you. And
Yeah.
I have something for you, and it's Loki chained up.
And you gotta love it because they like Thor having a full-on discussion with Loki. Loki was still like his hologram thing, and he was tossing rocks at him, and he was going through him. This time it wasn't, so he throws a can just to make sure. Again, comedic timing.
And
It's
then
amazing here.
he sees Bruce and it's like, hello, Bruce. He's like, Bruce is like, how are your murderous impulses? It's like, it varies from time to time. And Bruce is like, okay.
Yeah, and you call him out. He was like, he tried to kill me. If you saw how he stalked, he kind of was ready to kill us. I was like, yeah, he tried to kill me too a while ago. Yeah, and Thor goes like, yeah, he tried to kill me like a lot of times actually. So I was like, damn, Loki isn't really the best person to trust nowadays.
Yeah. And then they have to escape through, what do you call it? The Devil's Anus.
Yep.
Using the Grandmaster ship, so Valkyrie sets free Korg and the rest of the gladiators, while Thor and Loki try to not rescue, but steal the ship. And I do like seeing Thor and Loki use guns, or space guns, to clear a path.
You can see that there was a lot of like Tron inspiration in this set design.
Yeah.
Like, especially the guns, they look like very Tron-esque. And I love old Tron, not the new one. Like, oh no, I do like the new one, but I mean, like, the design is more akin to old Tron, the one with Jeff Bridges, and it was fun.
And then they have a heart-to-heart in the elevator where Loki's like, so I guess after this, we'll go our separate ways. And Thor's like, you know what, you did mean the world to me. I would have done
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, like that, like, oh, you think lowly of me, brother, for me to stay here. And then Thor goes like, I think the world of me. And yeah, again, this is a moment where they give us the drama. Not really the drama, but like the heart-to-heart moment. They leave it alone. And Thor goes, so, you want to get help? And it's not like, oh, get help is just a random thing that happens. No, it's a thing that they've done before, which still kind of connects to them having this brotherly love.
Yeah. Loki's like, no, it's embarrassing. Like, come on, let's do it. And then he's like, no, I will not. And then he cut to like Thor going, help, my brother is dying. He just tosses Loki at the guards.
Yeah. And like you see Loki, he actually had a whole other plan set up. He's like, oh well, the Grandmaster has a really high bounty for you if I got you back. So sorry. And I was like, yeah. But Thor has other tricks up his sleeve. Like Thor has started to learn a little bit more than usual, you know? Like not more than usual, sorry. Has learned throughout the years and adapted, and he was like, yeah, I kinda know your tricks. And he had that thing attached to him.
Yeah. And he zaps Loki, and then he gets the Grandmaster's ship, and then he flies out, and Hulk and Valkyrie are on another ship, and Hulk has to be dropped down. She's like, I hope you're as tough as you look, or tougher than you look. And then she just ejects him to the ship above.
Yeah, she just ejectocito, cuz.
Yeah. And Thor's like, why doesn't the ship have any weapons? Because he's like, oh, it's an orgy ship.
No, it's a luxury ship used for parties and orgies. I was like, and Thor was like, yeah, don't touch anything.
All the while, the Grandmaster's henchwoman is chasing them too. And I do love how they take her out with just using a shit ton of fireworks. Yeah.
It's my birthday protocol.
Yeah. And then they escape through the Devil's Anus, and at the same time, Korg and the gladiators find Loki because he's just on the ground being zapped, and they're like, ah, what's this? And they turn it off. And Loki's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, we're here to start a revolution. He's like, oh, excellent. Okay.
He was like, oh, you seem like you're in desperate need of leadership. Oh, why thank you. I was like, Korg, god damn it, okay.
And then the Devil's Anus brings them to Asgard, and they have to think of a plan to get the people out at the same time to stop Hela. And they go their separate ways, where Heimdall has to bring the people to what do you call the Rainbow Bridge? The Bifrost. And then Thor will be there in the Odin's throne room because he's banging the shaft. I can't have to phrase it better. Banging the shaft, I don't know. What do you call it?
He was summoning Hela.
Yeah.
Okay. Clip that, everybody. Quote that. Let it be on your gravestone. Thor banging the shaft.
And before they fight, I do like how they both quote Odin, where Thor's like, "A great king never seeks out war." And then Hela goes, "But must always be prepared for it."
Yeah, so same teachings, different methods, I guess.
Yeah. And as they're going to the Bifrost, or like the machine, they see the big wolf, and behind them is the executioner. And before that, we see glimpses of like, I don't think he really is up to the task of being an executioner. And you're like, so that shows like, oh, he's having doubts now.
Yeah. So you see Billy the Butcher kind of like thinking twice about his decisions.
Yes.
And
Billy the Butcher.
yeah, that's him.
It's just Bill. All right, Billy Butcher, man. All right. Oh well. But yeah, and then they see the wolf charge them, and Valkyrie's like, "This fucking dog won't die," and Hulk's like, "I have an idea," and he's worried because early on he's like, "If I what?"
No, it's just a scene where he's like, "Oh, you'll know who I am," and he just like Family Guy like dies like the Family Guy death pose. I was like, "Oh my god!"
And the wolf is just like, "That's interesting."
Yeah, you gotta. The wolf was like, "Oh my god."
But yeah, obviously that's not the end of Hulk, thankfully. But he was worried because he's like, if I transform back to Hulk, I might never come back as Banner. But since you've seen Infinity War, that's quite the opposite of what happens.
Yeah. Big green man was scared of big purple man. So it goes back to Banner. So anyway, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. And they he stops the wolf from charging, and at the same time Loki comes with reinforcements because like your savior is here.
Yeah. Ain't good on Loki. And this is yeah.
Sorry. Before that, we cut back to Hela and Thor, and Hela takes out one of his eyes. You're like, holy shit!
And you gotta love that like little bit of like. Now you kind of look like father. I'm like, oh, you bitch.
I love the fact when they see Loki come through, that Thor has this stupid smile on his face, and Hela's like, all right, stabs him again. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see like Thor's losing this one, and he has that same vision again from a while ago when he was fighting Hulk. That like Odin was like, "Are you the god of hammers or the god of thunder?" This is why I was so confused to why you were confused. Like, wouldn't Thor have his powers if he had the hammers? Like, no, Thor always had his powers.
That's because back in the day I didn't know Thor that much. I'm like, oh. But yeah, it is a great scene where it's like, I wish I could be as strong as you. And he's like, you're stronger than me. You always have been.
Yeah. And yeah, you gotta love that line. He's like, "Are you the god of hammers?"
Yeah.
No. And we get the we can't do the song, but like
Yeah, we get Every Good Song by Led Zeppelin. It is a sweet scene because he just takes out droves upon droves of Hell's army.
and you gotta love it because the entire characteristic of Thor was the hammer. Like before my girlfriend I was dating back in the day, she was like, "Thor's whole thing is the hammer." I was like, "Well, no, not really." And this is a whole movie with him without the hammer.
Yeah.
And which builds up his character, which I really liked. And you see Thor pretty much dispatching these undead army the regular way without his weapon. So I was like, he doesn't need it.
Yeah. At the same time, the wolf is Hulk is fighting the wolf, and he gets bitten on the leg, but he's able to overcome the wolf and push him off out of Asgard, literally.
No, you gotta love that whole Revenant moment with the wolf and Hulk in the river.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the waterfall. He was like, "Oh, get this thing off me!"
And Scourge realizes like, oh, we're losing this. I'm gonna put on the disguise and sneak on board the Asgardian ship.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're not done with business because Hela's still after us, and she's walking across the Bifrost, and they're like, we need something big enough to stop Hela. And Thor's like, from Odin, it's like, Asgard's not a place, it's a people. So we can lose this, but as long as we have the people, we're fine. So it's just kind of sad considering what happens next to them.
Woo! Well, I mean, it does prosper later on, but eh.
Oh my
But yeah, Thor has like, a while ago, he actually tosses the head of what's his name, Surtur?
Surtur.
Yeah, into the Eternal Flame, which was supposed to activate Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I can't beat you, but he can."
I do love the moment when no, it's not Thor who activates him. It's Loki.
Oh, it's Loki. Sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
but he's going across the hall and he gets the skull, and then as he's running towards the Eternal Flame, he sees the Tesseract, and he's like, "I want to get that."
Yeah.
And also before that, Scourge has his hero moment where the undead army is coming for the people, and he kills them with his M16s, and he tries to take out Hela, but he's no match for Hela.
Yeah, he goes out like a champ.
Yeah, but yeah, I do love the fact that Surtur, sorry, comes out of the castle and starts wrecking Asgard. And by the way, I do like the fact that he's voiced by Clancy Brown.
No wonder his voice was familiar.
Yeah,
I was trying to like pinpoint. I was like, "Whose voice is this?" Ah, it's Mr. Krabs.
yeah, it's Mr. Crab. It's Lex Luthor in the Superman series. And there's a sweet moment where Hela's distracted and Valkyrie just stabs her in the back, and Thor just zaps her into the river.
Yeah, but of course that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Hela is really hella hard to kill. Sorry, but I do like it that they were able to evacuate, and we get this off-screen moment of Asgard blowing up. Like, you know, it was like an amazing battle between Surtur and
Yeah.
Hela.
At one point, you see the determination in Hela's face to stop him, but she realizes like, oh shit, this is the end.
Yeah, because her main power comes from Asgard,
Yeah.
and this thing is meant to destroy Asgard.
Korg's like, the damage not too bad. We can rebuild it. We
The
still
foundation's still good,
have...
and then it blows up. I was like,
and then later on, Thor is patching things up, and Loki comes to be with him. He's like, I wish you were actually here. And he's like, I am here. And I'm going to go through this journey with you. Which is not long, but anyway. And then Thor gets the role he didn't want. He becomes the king of Asgard. And decides,
well, not for long.
we'll go to Earth. And yeah, like you pointed out, not for long, because the after credit scenes look, he's like, are you sure it's a good idea for me to go back to Earth? He's like, oh, we'll make it work.
Yeah, and we see looming over the shadow of the universe, the ship of Thanos, and I'm like, well, here we go.
And there's a slow, like, oh damn, there's a big ship.
Yeah.
And people were like, is that the ship? I swear, people were like, is that the ship of Ronan the Accuser? I'm like, one, he's dead. Two, that's Thanos.
He was alive in Captain Marvel, but not anymore here.
Yeah. So what happens when you do a dance off with Star-Lord, but anyway. Ultimately, yeah, this is a really good movie, and what would you rate this?
Personally, my own opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. I really can't find anything wrong with it. Beat for beat, it's a really good movie. Taika Waititi did a great job. Like, sure, it's a whole different experience from Thor: The Dark World, where it was kind of gritty. Here, it's a little bit more funny, and like that's a breath of fresh air. It's something new, and Marvel did a really good job in making that call where they're like, "Hey, sure, we've established what this character is supposed to be. Let's change that."
Yeah,
And they did a really good job. There's amazing characters here that didn't need a lot of exposition, though. A lot of characters here were relevant, and none of them were kind of bland. So that's great. Except for the Warriors 3, they died off, but like,
I mean,
they got rid of them.
They were never really developed in the first place.
Yeah, so they got rid of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, there you go. And like, Korg here had more exposition and character than any of those three. And had better screen time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I really can't find anything wrong with this movie. I enjoyed it the entire way, and it's rewatchable.
Actually, same. It's 10 out of 10 for me too, because I really can't think of anything I don't like. So I can watch this over and over again. I still have a good time. Maybe again the small nitpick is like, really, Odin, why are you telling us this that we have a sister now? Why did you tell us this sooner?
Yeah, it's just those plot convenience moments where they're like, oh right, by the way, if I die, there's this thing that's coming.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Well,
Yeah, and hell is not super complex. It's like the same, like, oh, I'm here to finish what former glory, what it started, and I'm here to conquer again. You're like, all right, I've seen this before. But Kate Blanchett just plays her so well. You're like, damn, she's a really good actress for a reason. And
yeah.
you see,
I would say she's underdeveloped, but her character was so, I guess, charismatic.
yeah, and she has this facial expressions too. Like, that's why you're considered one of the greatest.
Yeah, it wasn't a dull moment when they put Hella on. It's not like, oh, regular villains, or no, Hella was actually a fun time to watch. So
Yeah. But yeah, that has been our video on Thor Ragnarok. What do you guys think? I know some people say it's not the greatest, so if you are one of those people, please comment down below. We like seeing different opinions. As long as you're cool. Nothing.
uncivilized.
Yeah. Be civilized like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But yeah, you can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/geeksanddegenerates. We react to trailers. We stream about our lives, and we stream video games from time to time. Individually, you can find me at YenDoffice1995 on IGN, Twitter, and where else can you find us? You can find us on Spotify if you don't like your faces, or if you want to listen to us on the go. Please remember to stay safe. That's for the end. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload.
The man is forgetting about me. I'm here too.
No, it's the our stuff and whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to follow John, where can they follow you?
Oh, by the way, you kind of forgot. We also have a Discord under the same name. Man, you're forgetting all the shit.
I know. So I have to remember.
I know. You can find me at JunkGOM on Instagram. It is my art account. And so,
Good art. I'm sorry.
thank you.
But yes, as I mentioned before, please stay safe, wear a mask, social distance, and get vaccinated if you can. Get your booster for fuck's sake. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.
We really gotta make a compilation of us fucking up our outros.
Yes.